Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to some. This is Johnny B, and I'm telling you right now, Barack Obama is in some deep poo poo. Okay? He's in some deep poo poo. He cannot have Flynn to have a decision, whether good or bad. Because if he has Flynn to have a decision, good or bad, that means Flynn can talk. Whether he talks from court, from jail, because if he went to jail, Trump would pardon him, or if he's set free, he can talk. He's petrified of Flynn talking. He needs Flynn put down. So we kept thinking, how the hell are they going to actually do this now? It's like Flynn's attorney filed this amicus briefs, okay? And after all of this information came out, okay, and you can find out that this information was actually brought to Sydney Powell, who is the attorney, by the way, that actually broke everything wide open. It just broke it open. Okay, boom. And it put Judge Emmitt Sullivan, who was a deep state actor judge. Yeah, he was appointed by Reagan, but I'm telling you, this guy has turned bad. And we kind of knew it. He actually, months ago, called Flynn a treasonous person. No, he's not. He's not. So this guy's a deep state actor. But he really can't do anything right now. He can't sit there and put this person in jail because he didn't do anything. The DOJ has dropped the case. So this happened last weekend. Just last weekend. And he didn't make a decision yet. I guarantee you Obama called him. Guarantee you. Because I was sitting there with my friend and go, how are they going to do this? They can't make a decision. I didn't realize they could do this. Because they can't make a decision. What are they going to do? Were they going to delay it forever? That's exactly what he's going to do. He's actually going to delay his decision indefinitely, and now he's going to allow the deep state actors and more BS to come out against Flynn. Okay? So they're going to solicit briefs critical of Flynn. Okay? But what they're really doing is this. They're trying to prolong the decision and hope to their devil. I can't say hope to God because they don't have a God. They're satanic. That they win the presidency and they can close this out and then do what they need to do. They need this to go away. Okay? So the decision was to not make a decision. If that isn't the very definition of deep state, holy cow! You're telling me, when's the last time that's ever been done? Okay, so this is a violation of the judicial oath and applicable ethical rules. We'll be filing a complaint against Sullivan. I want you to see something. Now, Obama was on with his little groupies, his little sycophants, and he had it purposely leaked. Okay. Flynn's attorney writes something to Obama. Watch this. Okay. This is a memorandum to Barack Obama from Sydney Powell. To Barack Hussein Obama. From Sydney Powell, the attorney. Dated May 12th. Today's date is the 13th, I believe, 12th. Dated today. Regarding your failure to find precedent for Flynn dismissal. Remember, Flynn was one of the two people that he told President Trump that he should be aware of. The other was North Korea, Kim Jong-un. And the other was a 3-star general. Odd. Very odd. Regarding the decision of the Department of Justice to dismiss with prejudice the information filed against General Flynn and the concern you expressed in your phone call with alumni, nice way of putting alumni, deep state, that there is no precedent that anybody can find for someone who has been charged with perjury just getting off scot-free. That's the kind of stuff where you begin to get worried that basic, not just institutional norms, but our basic understanding of rule of law is at risk. She continues. Apparently, you need more than you realize, as your statement is entirely false. However, it does explain the damage to the rule of law you allowed throughout your administration. First, General Flynn was not charged with perjury, which requires a material false statement made under oath with intent to deceive. 1. A perjury prosecution would have been appropriate, and the rule of law applied if the Justice Department prosecuted your former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe for his multiple lies under oath in a leak investigation. McCabe lied repeatedly under oath in fully recorded and transcribed interviews with the Inspector General for the DOJ. He was fully informed of the purpose of the interview, and he had the benefit of counsel. He knew he was in trouble. McCabe even lied about lying, and to his own agents, which took their investigation on a wild goose chase because McCabe was himself the source of the leak they were investigating. Attorney General Barr declined to prosecute McCabe for these offenses. People, by the way, I'm going to break off right there. People are like, why? Oh my God, Barr must not be a good guy. Why did he do that? I think Barr did not prosecute McCabe because he threw it back in, hoping to get bigger. Okay. In fact, I know he's got bigger. He's got more. So I think Barr threw that in because they need to nail him on bigger and better. Okay, there we go. Under the rule of law, after declining McCabe's perjury prosecution, there are no circumstances pursuant to which DOJ could continue to prosecute General Flynn, who was not warned, not under oath, had no counsel, and whose statements were not only not recorded, but falsified by the agents. Second, if it would seem your wingman, I love that, Eric Holder, is missing a step these days at Covington and Burling LLP. Indelibly marked in his memory, and one might think yours, should be his motion to dismiss the multi-count jury verdict of guilty and the entire case against former United States Senator Ted Stevens. Okay? Within weeks of Mr. Holder becoming Attorney General, he had to move to dismiss the Stevens prosecution in the interest of justice for the same reasons the Justice Department did against General Flynn. Egregious government misconduct by prosecutors who hid evidence and made up purported crimes. As horrifying as the facts of the Stevens case were, they pale in comparison to the targeted setup, framing, and prosecution of a newly elected president's national security advisor and the shocking facts that surround it. The case was an assault on the heart of liberty, our cherished system of self-government, and the right of citizens who choose the president. Third, Sydney Powell, she's going off on him, huh? The inability of anybody in your alumni association to find anybody who has been charged with anything just getting off scot-free would be laughable here, or were it not so pathetic. That's true. It was all made up. It was all a scam, and now it's all coming back. That's why Flynn's what happened last week with Flynn is so important, and they're trying to cover it up because what Judge Sullivan is trying to prevent is a final decision. That way Flynn can speak. But all of these things lead back to Obama. All of them. And then the new Rick Grennel's unmasking things that are going now through the DOJ, that also goes all the way up the chain as well. Obama's panicking. He's panicking big time. That's why now he wants to get on the campaign. That's why he made that little call to his alumni. That's why he's panicking, and he probably called Judge Sullivan. I bet you 10 to 1. 10 to 1 he called Sullivan, or somebody from an Obama camp called him. He either called him, asked him, threatened him, something. because it took him 4 days to make a non-decision decision. Weird. Okay? All right. Many of your alum are featured prominently in the nonfiction legal thriller published in 2014, License to Lie. It's true. Exposing corruption in the Department of Justice. A national bestseller, it focuses on the egregious misconduct of your longest-serving White House counsel, Catherine Ruemmler. Ooh, by the way, that is true. Anytime they call her the fix-it lady. Anytime that they need to fix anything, there comes Catherine Ruemmler. Okay, yeah, she's the long-lasting serving White House counsel. Oh, you bet. Your counterterrorism advisor, Lisa Monaco. Yep. Loretta Lynch's DAG for the criminal division, Leslie Caldwell. I don't know her. And Mueller's protege, Andrew Weissman. Hey, Weissman. How we know Weissman, but many of you people don't know Weissman, is he's actually one that ran the Mueller investigation. Okay? Many, many people believe this, and it's not a conspiracy theory. When you saw Mueller at the hearing, you realize the guy doesn't have it. He doesn't have it upstairs. Okay, who had it was Weissman. Weissman was running. He's the one that set up the investigative team of all anti-Trumpers and all Hillary Clinton people. He's the one that ran it. Okay. While they worked as federal prosecutors on the Enron task force under the purported supervision of Christopher Wray. Interesting that Christopher Wray is now going to be under hot fire too after all of this came out. Jeffrey Jenson was hired by Wm Barr in the last several months as a prosecutor to go into Washington, D.C. and dig up information. And he dug up this information that Christopher Wray was holding. Now you know why he was holding it. Okay? So now they're going to ask Christopher Wray, why were you holding it for 2 years? See, there's a lot of people that are going to be in trouble. Okay? A lot. Yeah, people are like, but he was a Trump appointee. Doesn't matter. You know how many people, I sat there and I go, do you know how many people that were on Trump's initial cabinet now? You're surprising he even got out that first year alive. There are so many deep state people on both sides of the political side. There was a ton of Republicans that didn't want Trump in either. But the Democrats are 100% evil. Okay? Christopher Wray is a snake. Some people think that Christopher Wray was appointed because there is an old adage, keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. I don't know. That's a pretty risky way to go. Get rid of... I think he could have been duped. I don't know. Anyway, under the purported supervision of Christopher Wray, they destroyed Arthur Andersen LLP and its 85,000 jobs, sent 4 Merrill Lynch executives to prison on an indictment that criminalized an innocent business transaction and hid the evidence that showed they were innocent for 6 years. Both cases were reversed on appeal for their over-criminalization and misconduct. What does that tell you? Okay. Indeed, Andersen was reversed by a unanimous Supreme Court. They tried to screw Arthur Andersen. All right. Fourth, even if your many alumni don't remember multiple reversals in cases that had to be reversed or dismissed for their own misconduct, we're guessing Judge Emmitt Sullivan, who is the judge on this Flynn case right now, okay, will remember tossing the Stevens case. Judge Sullivan is the judicial hero of Licensed to Lie. Isn't that interesting? It is the case and the resulting 500-page report of Henry Schulke that caused Judge Sullivan to enter the strong Brady order the Mueller prosecutors violated repeatedly in the Flynn prosecution. Fifth, your alumni Weissman and Ruemmler are no strangers to guilty pleas being tossed. At least 2 guilty pleas they coerced by threats against defendants in Houston had to be thrown out again for reasons like those here. And what she means is, like those here is, that's how they got Flynn to say that he lied, because they were going to go after his son. They were going after Flynn's son if he didn't plead guilty. Coercion. They tried to coerce a 3-star general. And by the way, he was a Democrat. A lot of people don't realize that. Okay. The defendants got off scot-free because, like General Flynn, your alumni had concocted the charges and terrorized them into pleading guilty to offenses that were not crimes. Anderson partner David Duncan even testified for the government against Anderson in its trial, but his plea had to be vacated. Enron broadband defendant Christopher Calger had his plea thrown out also. Oh, looks like she ain't done. She's giving President Barack Obama a whooping. Remember, she just wrote this today. The 6th one. Here we go. 6th. Should further edification be necessary, see Why Innocent People Plead Guilty, written by federal judge Jed Rakoff, a Clinton appointment, in 2014. Innocent people are forced to plead guilty by abusive prosecutors with painful frequency. The Mueller special counsel operation led by Andrew Weissman, we just talked about that, and Weissman wannabes specialized in prosecutorial terrorist tactics, repulsive to everything justice is supposed to mean and designed to intimidate their targets into pleading guilty and punishing them with the process and financial ruin. That's exactly what they do. Ruin the crap out of them financially. Most important, they did it to Stone, they did it to Flynn. Flynn had to sell his house, everything. Went broke. The same thing with Stone. Went broke. That's what they do, because the government has endless money. Most important, in truth, General Flynn was honest with the federal FBI agents. They knew he was and briefed that to McCabe and others 3 different times. At McCabe's directions, Agent Stroke and McCabe's special counsel Liesl Page, that was his whore, his mistress, altered the 302. 302s are what you actually have to write when you interview somebody. They altered them. And by the way, they're missing. Huh. Supposedly. We'll see. To create statements, Weissman, Mueller, Van Grack just had to resign, and Zainab Ahmad could assert were false. Only the FBI agents lied and falsified documents. The crimes are theirs alone. That's right. All of them. Stroke, Page, McCabe, Comey, they all set this crap up. And they realized that this happened in, I think it was January 7th of 2017, just before Trump took office. They all met in the office and they concocted this plan. Okay? Oh, yeah, it's coming back, and it's going all the way up the chain, all the way up. That's why Trump's now naming it Obamagate, because he's like, you know what? You went after me for 4 years. Now it's my turn, bitches. So he's coming back at him. But it's not just him. Like I said, Jenson with his, Grennel with his reports. You got Barr still after him. You still got John Durham going after him. And Obama's freaking out now. It isn't just John Brennan freaking out, and it's not just James Comey freaking out. James Comey doesn't freak out as much because that guy has so much hubris. He thinks he's untouchable. He literally does. He thinks he can do whatever he wants. But Brennan's freaking out, and Obama's freaking out. 7th, the federal circuit in which you reside throughout a Section 1001 case for a legal failure much less egregious than those in General Flynn's case. United States versus Safavian, 528F, period 3D, 957, D.C. Circuit Court, 2008. Safavian sought advice from his agency's ethics board and didn't give them all the relevant info. The jury convicted him on the theory it was a 1001 violation to conceal the info from the government's ethics board. The court disagreed. As Safavian argues and as the government agrees, there must be a legal duty to disclose in order for there to be a concealment offense in violation of Section 1001A1. Yet, the government failed to identify a legal disclosure duty except by reference to vague standards of conduct for government employees. General Flynn did not even know he was the subject of an investigation. No, they wanted his guard down. They even said it. Comey even said it in an interview. He goes, no, he didn't even know. He didn't even know. Okay? They wanted his guard down. They didn't want him to have an attorney. No. And in truth, he was not. The only crimes here were by your alumni in the FBI, White House intelligence community, and the DOJ. These examples are obvious and well known. Perhaps you will soon find some remarkably good jailhouse lawyers to consult for further assistance on your search for precedent. Finally, your leaked comments on the call with the alumni further evinces your extraordinary obsession with destroying a distinguished veteran of the United States Army who has defended this country from all enemies, foreign and domestic, with the highest honor for 33 years. Wow. 1. As a constitutional lawyer, surely you recall that perjury or false statements also require intent to deceive. In Bronson v. United States, 409 U.S. 352, 1973, the Supreme Court reversed the conviction of perjury. This woman is smart. In Bronson, the defendant's answer was a truthful statement, but not directly responsive to the question, and ultimately misled federal authorities. The court determined a jury should not be permitted to engage in conjecture whether an unresponsive answer, true and complete on its face, was intended to mislead or divert the examiner. The state of mind of the witness is relevant only to the extent that it bears on whether he does not believe his answer to be true. To hold otherwise would be to inject a new and confusing element into the adversary testimonial system we know. Id at 359. The FBI agents who interviewed General Flynn specifically noted that his answers were true, and he believed his answers to be true. Furthermore, General Flynn knew and remarked that they had transcripts of his conversations. Oh, man. Wow. Wow. Are you getting it? So now it's the fire time. So for Obama, he cannot have a decision with Flynn. So and we were kept thinking, how the hell is this crooked Judge Sullivan going to make this decision now? Because now it's obvious he's got to make a decision. So he makes a non-decision and wants to have more information to see if they can bring down Flynn. It's going to come time where they're going to have to pardon Trump. So I thought, how do you prevent Trump from actually pardoning him? Well, what they do is they try to come up with a narrative saying that Trump is overstepping his bounds. They'll come up with leftist activist groups that are pro-Obama and saying that's just bullshit, and this is another thing that we should do to try to impeach him again. All these things. So they will come up with more and more. They do not want Obama being discovered and being thrown in jail. So they will do everything to fight. Okay, but Obama's a crook. All right, he's backpedaling. But it's not just going to be Obama. Obama's the top dog, but there's so many people that are. I mean, we're talking Susan Rice, we're talking Holder, we're talking A.G. Lynch, you just Clapper, Brennan, just keep going. Yates, just keep going. That's how many people in his cabinet were crooks. It's just, and in the FBI and in the DOJ, they were all dishonest. Okay, this is who we have called the deep state. Okay? This is one of the reasons why we believe that Obama only moved 2 miles from the White House, because there was every intention by the Chinese to see if they could overthrow the United States and then put in Obama as the president on behalf of China, or something thereof. We're not sure that that would happen, but something thereof, because there's a two-term presidency. But why in the hell? Or the other thing that I personally thought was, I don't think that's necessarily going to happen, but what I think is he would be able to have his finger on everything because he's so close to the DC movement that people would be able to come to his house and he'd be able to direct things from there. He's still very much in charge of the Democrat Party, because you look at the Democrat Party right now, it's a mess. It's a mess. It's a giant glob of mess. Don't even look at the polls where it shows that the polls are showing Joe Biden winning. Come on, that's a joke. You can't say that 50-something% of the people are retarded, can't realize that Joe Biden is literally senile. You can't say that many people are stupid. Okay, you can't. It's beyond obvious. Okay, all right. I had to wake people up. It's fun waking people up. But we got to wake people up because they're trying to steal our country from us. And that's what this whole pandemic is about, by the way. That is why they're working in overtime and overdrive to eliminate that one video called Plandemic. Okay, because the bureaucrats are, and pharmaceutical also are a big part. And they want to make sure that they're not discovered about. That's so bullshit, because people are going to discover it anyway. The more you try to tell people they can't see something, the more you try to convince people that they cannot have something. For example, Fauci says you cannot have now HCQ. It's the only drug that has over 90%, over 98% success rate, but you're not going to have that. But in fact, we're going to put our so they create a fake study by the VA. It was bullshit. It was a terrible study, and they end up with preliminary studies now on remdesivir. Remdesivir is only beating a placebo by 30%. Really? And the treatment for this, for 1 week's treatment, is $4,400. Who's got that kind of money? So they're going to have Americans go broke. The treatment that does work, HCQ, hydroxychloroquine, works, and it's at $20 for the 5-day treatment. No, we don't want you to do that because people will get well. They don't want that. They don't want people getting well. They want to control you every aspect of the way. Wake up, people. There's a lot of bad actors in your government, and Donald Trump is trying to sort it all out. Okay? We're trying to help him too, because we think that he got hoodwinked into this whole shutting down the government. Because I said, because once they shut it down, they were going to try to keep it shut. They're going to do everything in their power to try to keep it shut. They will lie, they will deceive, they will do everything in their power. Remember, what I always say, Democrats lie, cheat, steal, defame, demean, degrade, deceive, maim, or kill in order to win. Okay, and use fear tactics. Why? Because that's who they are. It's all about power for them. So just stay aware, stay awake. We're going to start seeing some stuff come out, but I'm telling you, the deep state and the people protecting Obama, they're going to fight back. Okay? They do not want, they don't want anything going back to Obama. Middlemen being hurt, no problem. But Obama, no, that's a no-no for them. Peace out.